All right, students of world history, just want to make a quick video announcement here about your final research paper, which is due at the end of next week. Couple notes just on citing of sources, and I created a little example here. But first, I want to take a look at requirements. Make sure that your paper is double-spaced, okay? Make sure we are double-spaced, okay? 12-point font, and Times New Roman text. Times New Roman, okay? That's pretty standard for all research papers up through the college level. Times New Roman, 12-point, double space. Now, over on the left side of the screen here, I have a nice little source that I used. It was with a smart history. And I'm just going to pretend that I was writing a paper on the beginnings of Buddhism. And over here, I have a little bit of an introductory paragraph from my source. It says, the Buddha was simply a human being, and he claimed no inspiration from any god or external power. He attributed all his realization, attainments, and achievements to human endeavor and human intelligence. A man and only a man can become a Buddha. Every man has within himself the potential of becoming a Buddha if he so wills it and works at it. Now, over here I'm going to take a look. Many religions around the world, here's my research paper. Many religions around the world worship gods or another higher power. The founder of Buddhism did not get his power from the heavens. In fact, Buddha was a human being. Now I'm going to go to a direct quote here. A man and only a man can become a Buddha. Every man has within himself a potential of becoming a Buddha if he or she wills it and works at it. So you can see I used a direct quote here, so that's in quotation marks. And the proper way to do in-text citations is to cite the author after the quote. So as you can see, I introduced the quote in my own words. Okay, these are my own words here. And then these are the words of someone else. Okay, these are the words taken directly out of this document here, this source that I use. And I happen to know the name of the source because it's down here, text by Dr. Jennifer McIntyre. So I put her last name right here in parentheses at the end of that quote. Okay, that's how you use your in-text citations when you're writing your paper. This is what I expect to see at the end of your final research papers. Coming down here, let's say I'm going to use this source a little bit more. This paragraph here, man's position according to Buddhism is supreme. Man is his own master, and there is no higher being or power that sits in judgment over his destiny. If the Buddha is to be called a savior at all, it is only in that sense that he discovered and showed the path to liberation, to nirvana, the path we are invited to follow ourselves. So my second quote that I'm going to use here, I'm going to use a little bit different style. Instead of a direct quote, I'm going to paraphrase, but introduce my source. So I have my introduction here. Buddhism focuses on the individual self of man. According to McIntyre, the ultimate goal of Buddhism is not to worship gods. Rather, the self wants to find the path to the ultimate enlightenment or nirvana. So you can see here what I did is I took basically what it was saying over here, paraphrased it, changed it a little bit into my own words, but I did give credit to the original source with this according to. So whenever you hear Ms. Stevens or myself saying, hey, use according tos to introduce a source, this is what we're talking about. Introduce your author and then paraphrase what they said. Now at the end of this, if I already introduced the author's name here, at the end I'm going to cite the name of the article. So up here it says it's called The Historical Buddha, okay? So in parentheses, just put the name of the article that you use to source of that author's. So in this case, The Historical Buddha. Finally, so I use this source. This is one of my sources that I use. I'm going to cite it every time the thought is not my own or not common knowledge. by either using those direct quotes or according tos or any other way you can think of introducing your source. Now, at the end, you'll want to create an MLA citation page, and a lot of people just copy and paste the link. You have to use proper citations in research paper here. So MLA, the way you do this is you list the last person's name, okay, comma, first person's name, and then period. Then in quotation marks, you write the name, the title of the document here, so the historical Buddha. Okay, and then you also include the overall theme that it was in. So this was under, if you can see here, Buddhist art. Okay, so you would almost think of this as the article name and this as, I don't know, the newspaper name, kind of the bigger book. Okay, and then the publisher is Smart History. Okay, Smart History. There's no publishing date on here. I could not find a publishing date, so I do ND for no date. And then you want to let me know that it was from a website, and then the day you accessed it. So in this case, I accessed it on May Day. Happy May Day, by the way. 1st of May, 2014. And overall, in MLA documentation today with Googling and being able to basically find anything through search engines, it's not required to list the URL, but I like it on there because it makes it easier for me to check your sources. So author name, name of the document, name of the book, publisher, publishing date, and the medium that you access it from for websites, the day you accessed it, and the URL all need to be included. I'm sure you can see how you can adopt this MLA documentation to a book. If you were reading a textbook, you would do the author's name, okay? The subchapter that it's under, the name of the book, the publisher of the book, the date it was published, and the last time you were reading it, okay? And then obviously it's not online, so you want to leave that. So I do expect to see both in-text citations on your final paper, okay? Either using direct quotes or these lovely according tos, but give credit where credit is due, okay? And of course, a proper MLA documentation at the end of your paper. So I hope this video cleared things up. If you have any questions about MLA documentation, please email me, call me, swing by my office hours so we can work on your research paper together. Really looking forward to reading your research papers. For watching this video, head on over to this tiny URL, MKNYBPS, and take a little survey and get some extra credit opportunities for watching this video. Really looking forward to seeing your papers. Have a great one.